Hey, sorry for my scary appearance. I had about a sinus surgery about 12 hours ago today at about 3 p.m. and it is now about 3 a.m., about 12 hours after. Uh, I had a septoplasty and a turbinate reduction, as well as the doctor opened up my sinuses at the front and in the cheeks a little bit. Um, My brother had a similar surgery and he actually got his nose packed. But what I have is a bandage underneath the nostrils and then two, basically, I believe, plastic splits that are holding the septum and everything together. So those are both two different ways to do it. My surgery was on a Friday. Um, his was on a weekday and he was able to get unpacked the following day. I don't know if this has anything to do with it or doctor's preference, but that is one difference that seems to be rather common when having a sinus surgery. Anyways, I'm gonna treat this bandage in a little bit and just give you guys a couple of my pointers and experience within the first 12 hours. Okay. So a couple of things you can expect, obviously, through the first 12 hours is bleeding and drainage. Uh, it was pretty heavy in the beginning and has gotten better over the course of the first 12 hours. I'm still actively changing my bandages, and when it gets very saturated with blood, it's best you wipe the bottom and then replace it. A couple important things is never blow your nose whatsoever. The doctor told me if I did need to clear it to kind of spit it out or something like this, but definitely you do not want to be blowing your nose. You want to stay hydrated, try to drink as much as you can. A couple things I noticed that the doctor told me was that for the first 4 hours, my teeth were really sensitive, as well as the top of the roof of my mouth. Both are continuing to get better, and the teeth are basically gone. At this point, at the 12-hour mark, the roof of my mouth still a little bit sore. Also, obviously, you can't really breathe through your nose. So, for example, when I swallow, I feel a little bit of pressure in my ears, and also if you have dripping, it could kind of make a noise in your nose. So just be aware of that. Eating obviously can be a little bit difficult, and drinking early on because of the drainage, and especially because of the drainage, rather, it was a little bit hard for me to eat. I had a little bit, and then I waited a couple hours, and it was a little bit easier. As you can see, the bandaging basically comes down to your mouth, and also, since you can't breathe through your nose, you essentially have to take small bites and also breathe through your mouth at the same time as eating. So, yeah. I'm going to swap my bandages. I don't know if you can see, there's a little blood starting to seep on my lip, so I have to change that. But also, you can expect your eyes to tear and water a little bit. I guess might have been kind of like teary throughout the first 12 hours. It's nothing serious, just worth considering. And also, some sort of humidifier. If you have heat that's blasting hot air, you might want to consider opening a window. Lastly, icing every 20 minutes has really helped. I put it on top of my nose and kind of on my eyes, and between the two, it's been really helpful, and I also think it's helped reduce the bleeding as well. Okay, I'm going to try to change the bandage now. So as you can see, still a good amount of drainage happening. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe that up and replace it. Never put the gauze in the nostril when you're cleaning in this stage. Just wipe along the top. So as you can see, I have switched the bandage and using this this M3 medical tape. It doesn't stick very well, so I run one piece like this, and then one across the whole thing. You might want to shave before your operation if you're going to be getting bandaged. The medical tape will stick a little bit better. The doctor also recommended, in terms of eating, that you eat soft foods at the beginning and work your way up to like more solid stuff. It's a little better that way. Another thing is that, like, you know, the older generation sometimes are like, my parents are like, oh, lean your head back, lean your head all the way back. And I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think you want to necessarily lean it forward either, but my recommendation from the doctor was to sit with your back upright and your head upright in sort of like a reclined position, kind of like a little bit back in a lazy boy or like a first class airplane seat, which goes back a little bit. So you're kind of like, you know, comfortable but upright, and maybe with a slight lean back of the head, but not like major. Okay, so this is now about the 24-hour mark. I've been continuing to ice. I slept a lot today, and I've been getting a bit of headaches over here, so I've been taking Tylenol Extra Strength as needed, no prescription pain medicine, and been icing my forehead and the side of my nose. So I'm going to change the bandage now. This is about the 24-hour mark. Still some blood and drainage, but not as much. You can see we're starting to finally get a little bit better here. Here's the bandage. Yeah, this is about 24 hours, so we're getting a little better. It's drained, less drainage. Okay, we'll see you again soon after we do some more icing and stuff. This is more than 48 hours after. Stopped like dripping blood, bleeding a lot, but it's getting a little itchy and as it dries. So let's see what's going on under here. As you can see, there's still a little bit, but overall it's slowed down. So that's where we are more than 48 hours after. Make sure to keep icing every 20 minutes as much as you can. All right, so this is about the 85-hour mark. I have the bandage off for now. Bleeding has slowed down a little bit, but I still wear the bandage. Still icing and taking Tylenol as needed for my headache, but we're getting better. Swelling is down, and then today I will call my doctor to find out when my follow-up appointment is scheduled for. So almost to the exact hour, it's been a week since I had my surgery. I'd say I'm feeling about 75% or so, not 100% yet. I'm still wearing the bandage. For the most part, bleeding has stopped, but there is a little bit of blood and mucus, so drips, and I can't really still blow my nose, so I'm continuing to wear this. I'm headed to the doctor shortly for my 1-week follow-up, where hopefully he'll remove this plastic splint, and I'll try to get a picture or something and have a follow-up with him, and I'll get some more information from him as well that I can hopefully share. So this is about a week. I had surgery on a Friday. I have no class on Friday, and then Monday was President's Day. And I was hoping to go back to school on Tuesday, but I wasn't able to go back until Wednesday. So I would really recommend, if you're having surgery, to really don't make plans for a full week for recovery. I was a little overly ambitious and thought I would be recovered faster. It took a little more time. So again, this is the 1-week mark, and we're going to go have our follow-up with the doctor. Okay, so this is the 8th day since I had sinus surgery. As you can see, I'm not wearing the bandage anymore. Yesterday I had my 7th-day follow-up appointment with the doctor, and he removed the 2 plastic splints I had in place. I was hoping to get a picture, but unfortunately my phone died when I was at the appointment. But anyways, basically what happened is both splints, which are about 2 inches, probably maybe like 1/8 of an inch, kind of like a hard straw to keep the septum in place, are held together by 1 stitch, which the doctor went in, cut, and then was able to extract the 2 splints. And then after that, he cleaned out my sinuses and my nose, kind of like with a device, kind of like maybe you would see at the dentist, which has like water and suction. Instead, it does that for your nose. So kind of like puts water and also sucks out kind of like the mucus and the other stuff. Overall, after that, you can pretty much, I could pretty much feel the results right away in terms of my ability to breathe better. Also, for the next 2 weeks, twice a day, he advised me to use the Neal sinus rinse, which I have here, and I will do that twice a day. And then another nice thing is that I'm able to blow my nose, not too hard, but lightly. And pretty much I'm feeling about, I'd say 85-90%. Since removing the splints, and the surgery was a success. It's been a bit of a long week and a little bit challenging, but I feel that the results were very good. So I'm going to go ahead and do my sinus rinse, and I hope this video is helpful or informative to anybody who is interested in post-operative recovery process after having a sinus surgery.